A hero shooter is nothing without an interesting roster of characters to select from the whimsical and odd classes of Team Fortress 2 to the backstory-driven world sabers of Overwatch. These characters are a large part of why we play these games, and our interest in them from an aesthetic and gameplay perspective can keep us locked in on said game for a good deal of time. Marvel Rivals seeks to create an engaging roster of characters by utilizing Marvel IP and creating a diverse set of comic characters. You have your typical staples of Marvel herodom like Iron Man and Spider-Man, but you also have wacky characters that hardly anyone has heard of, like Jeff the Landshark. But in the age of live service, these hero rosters grow and grow over the course of the game's life, so we asked you, the humble gamer, what characters should be added next to Marvel Rivals. Most of the responses came in as long lists of characters, but the most in-depth response was from Chad, who said his vote was for Cardiac, a character with vibranium woven into his skin and a reactor for a heart. This allows him to juice up weapons and other devices while also posing all the common super enhancements to things like strength, speed, etc. Chad stated that Cardiac is a lesser-known character, and because of that he doesn't think Cardiac will ever make the roster. But I will say, there was a ton of lesser-known characters in Marvel Rivals already. As I mentioned earlier, Jeff the Landshark isn't exactly a household name, and neither is Luna Snow or Hela. In an interview with VG247, executive producer Danny Koo said they wanted to throw in some curveballs in terms of characters, which means introducing new characters to the average player. People who have only heard of or maybe seen the movies now getting to meet the wide roster of incredibly odd and fantastic characters that have adorned the comic books for the last 85 years. Okay, but let's move on to some other comments. Like I said, they mostly tended to be lists, and these lists almost all included Deadpool. With the recent Deadpool movie having come out, he is an obvious pick. Adding Deadpool to Marvel Rivals would inject a fresh dose of humor and unpredictability into the game, appealing to both longtime fans and new players. His unique abilities like breaking the fourth wall and unpredictable combat style would create dynamic gameplay, making each match a memorable experience filled with witty banter and chaotic fun. But a good way to introduce a new character into a hero shooter is by making them a counter to an existing character. In the beta, Doctor Strange was one of the most powerful characters, and a good counter to him could be Mysterio, as mentioned by one commenter. Mysterio could be utilized to teleport across the battlefield and make clones of himself like Mirage from Apex. We already know that Marvel Rivals likes to utilize other power-ups from other games and switch them up ever so slightly. The most popular comment though was from Sam, who mentioned Moon Knight, Nova, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Gravity, Gamora, Null, Korvac, Hazmat, Cyclops, Armor, Jean Grey, Nightcrawler, Deadpool, Colossus, Wolverine, Dazzler, Nimrod, and Exodus, all of which were excellent suggestions and show that there is a lot of passion in the characters being picked for this game. Moon Knight in particular would be a great addition, as his blend of mysticism and multiple identities and combat skills could introduce exciting new mechanics and strategies, appealing to both fans of the character and players looking for diverse gameplay options. Plus, his dark and brooding nature would contrast nicely with other heroes, enriching the game's narrative depth. One other commenter's list went like this: Werewolf by Night, Man-Thing, Ghost Rider, Blade, Elsa Bloodstone, Nico Minoru, Hannibal King, Morbius, Agatha Harkness, Damon Hellstorm, Bats the Ghost Dog, Dr. Voodoo, and The Hood. From that list, I really like Bats the Ghost Dog as a fun counter to Jeff the Landshark, as both represent fun and whimsy that could enrapture players who were less interested in the insane character backstories of other Marvel characters. All of these comments go to show that there are plenty of characters that Marvel Rivals developer NetEase could choose from. Making precise picks that enhance both gameplay and appease a wide variety of fans is the best way to ensure that Marvel Rivals has an active and engaged player base. Regardless, the picks they've already made show that they know what they're doing, and I think all of us gamers have a ton of hope for the future of this experience.